Memories. Aha. I see. I spent another night keeping my mum company as we talk about our day. It's been a while since more of my time has been occupied with my... Okay. But whom is your girlfriend? I'm not gonna lie, but which one of them is your girlfriend? Memories, okay. Well, do you remember those jellyfish spirits you used to see? Of course, hardly anyone believed me besides you. They're such playful little creatures watching over us. Apparently they're called Undine. They say those who carry merfolk blood will turn them into the afterlife. That's really interesting. Where did you learn that? Oh, just one of those books. I don't know if it's actually true though. Nobody knows how reliable they are, right, Mum? She doesn't reply, but I hear her desperately gasping for air. And for the very first time, I see tiny scales grow in her arms. It terrifies me. Nurse, I need help. Oh, ouch. Memories, huh? What, is your mum okay? No, she has scales now. There's no way it could be a human disease. It has to be endemia. Looks like our only option is to find a crystal after all, but we haven't had any luck since we retrieved the jar. It's so frustrating knowing that we already have one before. What if we can't find another crystal? Don't think like that. I'm sure there has to be another one somewhere else. Why don't we head back to Lazarus tomorrow? We have plenty of time now that it's summer break. You're right. That sounds like a good idea. But just in case we can't, I'll be saving up my tears in the jar as a backup plan. Maybe if we collect enough, it'll turn into another crystal. Isn't that supposed to take many years? Besides, how are you doing that? Cutting onions. Okay, I need to make a way to make fried rice. I brought some leftovers if you'd like. I'm not hungry, but thanks. Yep. So it's only Anya's memories. Or maybe it's going in chronological order from left to right. I'm not cold, I'm just nervous. I'm fine, I just have a lot on my mind. I was thinking about us. We're probably the only merfolk left in the world. You're right. It's just the two of us now. Do you still think about wanting to be a human? No, not lately. I've learned a lot ever since I got to know you better. You taught me that we can still have happy families even though they're not complete. Becoming a human won't fix anything, and that's okay. We have each other. We're not alone anymore. I feel the same way about you. Never would have thought that I'd become the merfolk prince though. Maybe this was meant to be. That's it. We're not alone. All of these Undines have been here much longer than we have. Maybe they could tell us where the crystals are. Neither of us can talk to spirits though. But I know someone who does. Come on. Banjo. Robin, Tori, and Grandpa. A dream of the past. It's like one of those mysterious underwater visions I had in the past though. This actually happened. It was my 7th birthday. I remembered having a lot of fun playing games with my mum and grandpa. They weren't just family to me, they were also two of my closest friends growing up. Aww. I was really shy back then, so it took me a while before I started hanging with kids my age. My mum sewed together my very first gondolier uniform as a present. It was earlier that year when I decided to follow her footsteps and become a gondolier just like her. That was one of the happiest days in my life. Why is it coming back to me now? Happy memories, now that we have Anya. It might remind Cameron about the team and how she got banned before the tournament. Okay, so at this point in time everyone knows about Cameron's gender identity. Oh yeah, the Martial Arts Association even confiscated all of her trophies. I've never seen her look so demoralised before. Even though this happened a couple of months ago, it's probably better if we don't bring it up. Bring what up? And you and I hop out that Caesar's cameras really take our orders. Oh, it's nothing. If you're worried about me, that's okay. I've gotten over it. I'm glad you're doing better now, and you can always talk to me if you ever need someone to listen to. Thanks, that means a lot to me. Anyway, how can I help you two? I know this will sound crazy, but we're looking for someone who can talk to spirits. Diana said someone on the sports team claimed they saw the zombie cheerleader spirit. Not this again. Reminds me of the time when we were looking for the food burglar. Hopefully, Diana's pulling our leg again. I know who she's talking about. And who would that be? We're here to take you seriously, Larry. Even though we don't really like you, you're our only help. You have the same coloured eyes as these two have. It means you might be the person we're looking for. After assuring Larry that we believe him, he agrees to follow us to the shore later that night. Just don't do anything creepy to Anya, okay? Just think about the past, Anya. Oh, I'm fine. I was just thinking about how cute you looked in that apron earlier. I'm cute. Anyway, breakfast looks good. Anya watches me anxiously as I take my first bite from her scrambled eggs. Wow, this is really good. You've gone a lot better, Anya. Thank goodness, I was so worried. I could tell you've been practicing a lot. Yes, all thanks to Diana. She really helped me out. Good friends. Nookie is and our two other favourite people in the entire game. What, you again? Running into each other a lot. Must be fate or something. Yeah, right. So if I steal your girl, handsome, I don't think I need to worry about that. Anywho, No. So we can go on our double date. No! I thought we were just friends, Diana. Play along with me. It's way more fun that... No. Elizabeth is currently having a dream right now from eating a lot of food, and now she says jellyfish. Yeah, as in jellyfish is what she meant. We could potentially have another lead. Yep. Elizabeth could be another one that can help us out. Yes, all three of them have the aquamarine blue eyes. Also, as a side note, Cameron and Diana both have green eyes. This definitely is a conclusion itself. Everyone wants to help out and everyone knows now about the Undines and stuff like that. But Diana, for goodness sakes, has no understanding of this whatsoever, for goodness sakes. I'll be dying to go on another mission with you all. This will be our biggest one yet. They're searching for aquamarine crystals, by the way. I forgot Elizabeth and Banjo like one another. This is actually Banjo's home. Here we are her guests. You must be joking. Maybe all the time when Anya is finally getting to you. I would have thought the same a while back, but a lot of crazy things happened since then. Looks like he successfully found the meeting without my help, boy. I'm impressed. The others immediately retract the moment they hear Banjo speak with such a deep voice. Wait, did I just hear Banjo talk? Oh crap, I mean, meow. One moment, could you be the one who spoke to me in my dreams? That's correct. I am Lavios, the almighty sea deity. You may bow before me. We're supposed to worship a cat? Yep, our entire town was built around paying respect to this house pet. And don't you forget it. Anyway, I understand the reason for bringing the medium, but why are the others here? You know it's forbidden for outsiders to enter Lazaril. I brought pizza. Welcome, honoured guest. Please make yourself better. It took that much to convince this cat. The Undines in ancient Aquadine. That would be hard. Then it's best you all sleep early tonight. You two feeling okay? What's up? Diane and I have been thinking about last night. We thought it would be better if the two of us helped the servants instead. The servants? Yet we might get in the way of your search since Diane and I don't have the eyes. Maybe I'll be more useful by doing some chores or any errands for Lazaril. It's frustrating that we can't do much else, but I still want to help somehow. The servants have always been taking care of you guys whenever you visit Lazaril, so that might be where we're needed most. Besides, I'm sure the cat won't complain if I show them how to make pizza. Even though Cam and I don't have any fancy superpowers like you all, don't count us out yet. We'll have a nice warm meal and a bath waiting for when you all come back. Thank you. That's really thoughtful of you two. Have fun out there, alright? Let me know if you find any cool souvenirs. Okay, I appreciate your help. Enjoy laughter. This is like an epilogue for all of them, but it seems directly related to Anya, which must mean that is the canonical friendship, relationship outcome. But it also ties in mostly with the story of the game itself being around Aquadine and ancient Aquadine and Aquamarine Dine, however you want to call it. How fascinating! All of you really are merfolk, even Banjo. That's what you call a catfish. Quiet you. You may be the prince now, but I shall deserve the proper respect. I am the almighty Lavios, I know. This is your first time in ancient Aquadine. How does it feel? Very surreal. I'm actually talking and breathing underwater. Though I'm slightly jealous I cannot become a beautiful mermaid like you. Some of the Undines are over there. It looks like they're coming towards us. Hello, my friends. Would you happen to know where we could locate some crystals? Elizabeth is listening to what the Undines have to say, but it looks like she's talking to herself from our perspective. Any luck? None of them have seen a crystal in quite some time, but not sure if any are left. What, even they don't know? I'm afraid not. However, the Undines recommend checking near the gravesite. I see. They will aid us in our search and tell us if any are spotted. Please forgive them for their inability to provide further information. I knew from the beginning that this wouldn't be easy, but their help will still save us plenty of time. A single tombstone where every merfolk's spirit is absorbed into. Most of them are names we don't recognize, but there are a few that stand out. Juna's name is on it. Wantup's is there as well, and so is Ursula's more recently. Losing someone is a pain everyone goes through, regardless of who you are. Yep, know that all too well. Lost my grandfather last year to you know what, but that's for another time. My wife, daughter and closest friends are all here. Even after many of them started new lives above the surface, I mourn every time a new name appears on this stone. The least I could do was remember the moments I spent with them and pay my respects. The rest of us look at the tombstone again with that in mind. It reminds me of how devastated my mum felt after my dad passed away. I was too young to know him, but he meant a lot to my family. One day, there will come a time when I must also learn that pain. It cannot be. Elizabeth, what's wrong? My mother's name is on it. What? I give it another look and see the name Laura Rhodes near the bottom. I don't understand. To my knowledge, my mother wasn't a mermaid. It might be possible that one doesn't need to be a merfolk in order to pass on as an Undine in the afterlife. Perhaps she carried enough merfolk blood to do so, just like how there are only select individuals who possess the aquamarine eyes. There was one particular Undine that also seemed to enjoy my company. Could it have been her? I'm not certain, but there are many mysteries even I never thought were possible until recently. Anya is a mermaid born of two human parents. Tori has Endymion despite being a human. Robin became a merfolk prince. And you can communicate with spirits. Perhaps this could be seen as a gift so you could remain close to her. I never thought of it that way. Thank you. Anya and I offer our condolences as we both give each other a hug. After spending some more time by the tombstone, all of us split up to resume our search around the ruins. Reading those names motivates me more than ever to find a crystal in time. But will we succeed? Yep, that is correct. Anya and I both look surprised as she correctly guesses my identity. Then again, it's my fault for letting that hint slip. That's not enough to expose my secret though, so I don't know how or when Elizabeth found out. Either way, it doesn't matter anymore. That's right, I've been working as a gondolier under the alias for years. Had I known the truth about merfolk back then, maybe you wouldn't be in this situation. You were trying your best. It's just easier to think about what could have been done in hindsight. What's important is that you haven't given up. As bleak as it may seem, we still have a chance. Now that the Undines are helping us, maybe they'll find something soon. We're more active at night after all. It's too early to call it quits. Exactly. Dr. Woodman's back then. She's getting us up to speed regarding her condition, but it's difficult to take in. Her arms are completely covered in scales now, and she's starting to grow gills too? That's right. These symptoms further support the endamia theory, and I begin to understand why she feels a bit better when bathed. From our observations, however, keeping her in the tub doesn't seem to be effective enough at the moment. This might become because her abnormal gills haven't fully developed yet. So if they grow enough to keep her submerged, will she be able to breathe better? That's a possibility, but nobody is sure what to expect. This seems to be a critical period though, and her fading lungs may be a sign of this. What is endamia? It's a rare disease that causes one to go through an abnormal transformation into a full sea creature. A merfolk contracting endamia doesn't affect their survival because they already breathe underwater naturally. However, the same can't be said for humans. To my knowledge, this has never happened before. Mermaids were real, and Tori has turned into a fish? If you're still skeptical, see her for yourself should you convince that she doesn't have an ordinary disease. I asked the nurse to keep quiet about her condition, but imagine how the town would react if they found out about this. They would be buzzing about how the famous gondolier is living proof of the merfolk's existence. Is it still best to assume her life could be in danger? We can't rule out that possibility, especially after what we just learned. Humans have lungs, while fish do not. During this mutation, there may be a period where she cannot receive any oxygen. Her gills are still developing, and we don't know if or when her lungs will shut down. Assuming she doesn't become a mermaid, this could be a lethal phase, yet it's the in-between part. After parting ways with Anya, this is a rare sight to see, but I'm sure that Elizabeth is talking to the Undines. I wish to speak with the Undines, but we haven't seen any crystals either. That's a shame, but I appreciate your help though. How is your mother doing? Not well. The doctors think there's a chance she won't be able to breathe due to the abnormal change of her body. I have to keep trying, but it's hard not to worry about the situation. She could be running out of time. That is true. Having friends, is such an endearing thing to have. Following an orb that mysteriously appeared out of the blue, and it could be where a crystal may be. Where do you think it's going? Not sure, but we spent months looking around these ruins. Even the Undines couldn't help us, so try not to get your hopes up, okay? I'll be fine. Surely we learned something now that it led us here. Either way, we're probably here to stay the night. At least it'll just be us, though. Let's just concentrate on this first. Yeah, good point. Good point. A new engraving slowly appears. Oh no. Damn it. So that's what that orb was. Blank. I have nothing to say about this. Wow. So that's it then. Our efforts, our opportunities to save her, it all led up to this. It wasn't a hint to find a crystal. It was guiding us. Perhaps it unintentionally guided us to this very point. It takes a while for that to sink in, because it's just so hard to believe. I read the text over and over to make sure there's no mistake, but it's really there. The moment Anya tries to comfort me with a hug, I realise this is actually happening. She did do that indeed. I can feel my heart drop while anxiety settles in. I want to hurry back to the hospital and see her for myself, but deep down, I know it's too late. It doesn't take much longer before I finally accept reality. I break down in shambles. The pain I'm feeling is unbearable. Like someone just ripped my heart out. No matter how much I cry, the tears keep getting mixed up with the rest of the water. I continue to mourn at this very spot for the rest of the night. Ouch. 2 weeks have passed since the funeral. Everyone was there, but it was all a blur. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine so. I couldn't be surprised that it was a blur for you. It felt like a really bad dream. At least, I wished it was. Since then, ouch. I just wanted to be left alone. He checked on me whenever it was time to eat, but I never felt hungry. He came into my room sometimes and would reminisce about our memories as a family. There were times when it's hard to believe it's just the two of us now. As we carried on with our conversation, I gazed at the photo that was taken a while back. You and your friends. It reminded me that I'm not alone. My friends have always been there for me, and those were some of the happier memories of my life. Ever since my mum passed away, they often visited and asked about how I was doing. For the first time in a long while, I finally stepped out of the house to take a walk. I found myself coming back to the hospital out of habit, even though there's no longer someone for me to see. The room my mum occupied for so long has been vacant ever since. I neglected reading the letter all this time because part of me still couldn't let her go. Dr. Woodman said my mum prepared an envelope for me in case this happened. My grip on the envelope tightened slightly out of frustration. After taking a deep breath, I finally gathered the courage to open it. Damn. God damn it. Dear Robin, have you been taking care of yourself lately? Sorry I wasn't able to raise you for as long as I hoped. I wish I could have cooked your meals and packed your lunchbox every night, just like a normal mum. It must have been hard to go to school and work every day, all for my sake. When did you grow so big that I was the one who had to rely on you? You've become such a smart, mature and kind young man, and I couldn't be happy to have you as my son. No matter what anyone tells you, there's nothing wrong with being yourself, and I'm glad you met a girl who feels the same way. If only I had the chance to share some of your cute childhood stories with her, like the time when you wore that adorable superhero costume. You loved watching that cartoon and collecting those action figures. Even though you've grown out of it now, you'll always be my little hero. Make sure you eat your vegetables, okay? And fold your bed every morning. I know you can be a little lazy about that sometimes. No matter how you decide to live your life, I'll always be proud of you. I love you so much, Mom. Well, how can a story does this to someone? They won't stop dripping down my cheeks, no matter how many times I wipe them away. Emotions I've held back for so long overflown beyond my control. Ouch. Let it all out, man. Why would she call me a hero when I couldn't save her? How could she be proud of me when I wasn't able to achieve anything? How could you say that you did everything you could and think that was within your power to help her? What was I supposed to do? What sorts of questions cycle through my head until there's nothing left to blame myself for? Of course you do. Just like any loving child would of their parent. She was the biggest part of my life. She was my very first friend who played with me when I was little. She took care of me whenever I got sick and raised me into the person I am today. She was my role model who taught me everything and has always been there for me, until the day she couldn't. Whenever I think of her, I remember how much she loved Aquadine. The breathtaking scenery that dazzled my eyes, the scrumptious food our town is known for, and the fun memories we shared together. All of it. I'll never forget the time I spent with her, even though it feels so bittersweet right now. I can't think of any better words to describe this pain I'm feeling. It just hurts. It really hurts. For anyone who is struggling like I am and is also trying to find peace, you are not alone. There will come a time when we must say goodbye to the people we love, and all we can do is remember them and hope they're resting well. It's only been 2 weeks, but I'll probably cry a lot more for months or even years to come. Do that. It'll be hard, and I don't know if everything will be okay, but I want to at least live my life that she gave me and learn to smile again. Tomorrow is a new day. Wow. And that, folks, is Aquadine. Wow. That... I don't know why I shed that when I did. You won't be hearing the music itself because Japanese music is obviously just a little bit treacherous to land upon when it comes to copyright stuff, but I thought that a few of the roots lacked sentiment, like with some of the characters and going through their different arcs, that there are plot points at those points in time where it feels like the information was there, but the context of the information itself wasn't really reflecting itself very well in terms of giving the player some context towards what actually happened between the characters and stuff like that in their own arc of the game. Like, Elizabeth I felt was the strongest route out of all of them because it actually provided some closure within the epilogue of the game. Like, after the What was it, the very last bit of Elizabeth's route? I've forgotten what it was now. But I think it was... No, wait, it's the concert. That was it. It was after the concert and after the fact that they visited the Elizabeth's mom's grave that I felt like that bit was the epilogue, and that was the strongest point of this game. But Diana's kind of had a sudden ending. Anya's felt like the memories part was the epilogue to her part of her route in a way, because canonically Anya is Robin's other half. Like the other three, they're hypothetical routes because Anya was one that hugged Cell/Robin, so therefore it would confirm that Anya's route is the true route in this regard, because these memories then would have had a different spin to it if one of the other three was Robin's other half. But that's okay. But God, that last bit of the memories there really teared me up, because it shows how important your loved ones are for you. And just remember that no matter how alone you think you feel right now, there are those around you that love you, who support you for who you are, regardless of what you think about yourself. And it's okay to be selfish at times, to think that you're not as good as you think you are, because we're all learning each day at a time. And wherever we go in life, it's just going to have hurdles, it's going to have difficulties. But no matter what happens, no matter what lies ahead of us, we have our loved ones around us to hold on to. And it's okay to show weakness, and it's okay to cry in these kind of times, because it shows that you're compassionate and caring for those around you. And there will come at a time when you will have to say goodbye to your loved ones, and no matter how much you cry, it can't bring them back, but that crying shows that you deeply care for them, but you remember them for what they were rather than what they are now. Thank you so much for watching. The last part of the game that really tore me away with how emotional it was, because losing someone so important to you is just the worst thing ever. Like, no amount of physical pain can replicate describing how it feels to lose a loved one. But thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been an adventure in itself. For all of the different things I've said about this game, through the strengths and weaknesses of this game. Any game has strengths and weaknesses, but I'm glad that we are able to share this adventure together. And thank you for watching, and sorry for tearing up there at the very end. But thank you. Thank you very much for watching, and hope you all love this journey, and take care of yourselves.